Let's quickly also head over to the NBA now because it's looking good for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it's also looking good for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Reigning NBA MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he fought through illness to score 40 points and lead Oklahoma City to their 10th consecutive victory, while Detroit's winning streak was snapped at 13 games. Gilgeous-Alexander added 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals as the defending champions. The Thunder became only the 5th team in league history to start a season with 18 wins and 1 loss or better, by outlasting Minnesota 113-105. The OKC Thunder became only the 5th team in NBA history to open the campaign so well, the first since Golden State began 19-0. That was in the 2015 and 2016 season. The Thunder, who are unbeaten at home, rose to 3-0 in NBA Cup West Group A and can complete a group sweep with a home win over the Phoenix Suns on Friday. Our guest is right with us right now. Abayomi Ajobele is online. Abayomi, thank you so much for coming through. I'm sure you must have also watched that game between Nigeria and Tunisia. While and I have been speaking about, it was a cobbled together team. Basically, most of these players probably met themselves at the airport. The fact that the fact that they could even be competitive, holding a good Tunisian side up until overtime, shows just how good we can be if we decide to put things right.
Thank you for having me. So quickly going straight to the game, how good we can be. We do not have a depth in talent. Our talent pool has always been very solid. If you watch closely during these qualifiers, you will not have the big names. The NBA season is currently on, so you do not get to see all of the A-list players participate in this particular window, which gives us for why some of our players may not be able to participate for us. But then you call the selection into question. For instance, we have 3 home-based players, 2 from the winning team, Lagos Legends, 1 from Boko City. But surprisingly, the league MVP is not in the squad. Patrick Alba is the league MVP and is not in the squad. So you get to question these selections. Ike Iwamu, the team captain, led the team also to the last Afrobasket. You have Stan Okoye, you have Mike Noga. These are known names that have played for the country over the years. They played earlier this year, so they losing to Tunisia is their own personal doing. You made mention of the 3-point shooting. We didn't lose because of the 3-point shooting. We lost because we could not protect the ball. We had 25 turnovers in that game, as opposed to Tunisia's 9 turnovers. Tunisia had 27 points off our own turnovers. So we lost that game based off the turnovers. If you cannot score 27 points off your turnovers, if you take out 27 points from the 88 they scored, they were not exceptional from the 3 points either. They made 6 threes. They had a 33%, just 6 threes, so they were not exceptional from behind the arc. So we gave them easy transition basket, easy fast break point, and that cost us. Coach Rahman and Coach Akindele, they need to talk to the boys. The boys need to control the ball better. They need to finish the basket better. Even in the 4th quarter, one of the players missed 2 clutch free throws in the very last minute. It means 2 clutch free throws. If you had probably converted that, we probably wouldn't have gone into the overtime. In the overtime, Tunisia is at home. The home crowd always play an advantage to whatever is going on. Yeah, Tunisia is a solid side. And also, their 2 best players scored 29 points and 25 points. And both of them actually play for the same club in Tunisia. The connection is there. The connection is there. The partnership is there. The experience is there. They are long-serving members of the Tunisia team, and because they play together in their own base team, their own base players, so they play together, and that's why we call our federation into question. If the league is not really functional, how can our boys participate? Now, Lagos Legends have won the league. They'll go to the BAL, but they may not be able to compete with other teams coming from the Angola, the South Sudanese teams, the teams from Egypt and Tunisia, because these are home-based players and they play together for a very long time.
So, I just want to get this straight. So, are you saying that the issue here is a question of poor defense, or an inability to transition properly, or are you talking about the fact that there was no cohesion in the team? You've mentioned a few things here. I just want to also to name check those issues very clearly, and also the 3 players that were chosen from the Nigeria Basketball Premier League. Do you, in your opinion, believe that they were the very best 3 that could have been gotten from the competition during this particular period?
Without a doubt, Shimka Garba was part of the best five at the Nigerian Basketball League finals that played on Friday. But of the three players that were selected, just one of them made it to the best five. Made it to the best five in the team. You had Tolani Buhari, you had Patrick Abba, the most valuable player of the tournament. So I do not know, but they are big players. They have the size. I'm certain Christopher making the team was as a result of size because we needed more size in the team, and that's why Christopher made it. But for this particular game, the main reason we lost this particular game, aside coercion, was the fact that we could not protect the ball. And if you cannot protect the ball, you cannot play basketball. 25 turnovers in a 40-minute game is not something that any coach would accept. It's not acceptable.
So in your opinion, what was responsible for those turnovers?
Like I said, the boys have not had enough time to play together. And like I also mentioned earlier, this window is really short. This is not the type of window you have 3 weeks or 4 weeks to prepare for. And based that our teams did not also prepare at all. And that is the actual fact.
Okay.
Not that we did not prepare at all. So it's the first game, they're coming together, they are going to be shaky. But I do not expect turnovers because we should demand the highest of responsibility from these players because they are professionals. We have a roster of about 12 players, and about 9 of them are playing professionally in Turkey, in Denmark,
in Europe,
in Mexico. They are playing at the highest level of basketball. So 25 turnovers in that game is not acceptable. And the players will have themselves to blame for that. You cannot hold that against the coach here.
Okay.
The players have to protect the ball.
Okay, so Abada, our next game is on Saturday against Guinea. They defeated Rwanda 82-70 just a few minutes ago. Looking at that Guinean team and the quality that the Nigerian team possess, can we bounce back from this loss? Going back how we performed today?
Definitely, we'll make it out of that group. We'll make it out of that. The worst is behind us now. That's what that could have happened to us in that group. Guinea and Rwanda should not pose any major threat to the squad we have. We actually have a very solid squad. Yes, we might have our issues with the federation and the lack of preparedness, but the quality of boys we have. Mike Nuga has been playing for the D-Tigers now for quite a number of years. Iwamu has been on the team now for over 10 years. Stan Okoye is not a new name to the team.
He's been there forever.
These are boys that I believe should lead this team over Rwanda. Although it seems like Rwanda and Guinea, they have stronger basketball leagues that is helping them and propelling their basketball teams. Stronger leagues, national leagues, and that is where we're having the challenge here. If you have a very strong, viable national league, this kind of tournament would send our own base players there, they win. But because our home base players do not have that much minutes in them, in these tournaments, they cannot compete with these guys at the highest level, and that's why you have to bring in all the Ogundirons, the Mike Nugas, the Ikiwamu to come help us out in these tournaments.
Okay, finally, before I let you go about me,
we will definitely make it out of that group.
Okay, so you're expecting Nigeria to make it out of that group, come what may, no matter how bad things seem right now. But finally, before I let you go, you need to name check one of the rising powers of African basketball now, South Sudan. What a story. How incredible they've been, how they've been able to build from absolutely nothing. Is there a point in time that you think that, do you want to put a timeline on it, when you think that South Sudan might win the Afrobasket Championship?
Talent for talent, I do not think South Sudan can actually match us. Talent for talent, I believe Nigeria still has the largest talent pool basketball-wise if our boys can come together. Deng has been doing a very fantastic job with South Sudan. People only got to know about South Sudan probably in the last year or 2 years ago, but Deng has been working hard on that on the team with his personal funds, with donations from friends. He's been hosting camps in South Sudan for the longest, and South Sudan is now tapping into that sports currency. They're tapping into that sports currency, but as we know sports, yes, they would rate them as the favorite because of what they've been able to accomplish at the Olympics, but also how we panned out at the last Afrobasket. Other teams are not joking. The Tunisian team, the Egyptian team, the Nigerian team, everybody is growing. So that's
the thing now about so I'm so sorry to cut you short. So that's the thing. You talk about how we have the largest talent pool in Africa, but that talent pool is not available. The top picks in that talent pool is not available to play at the major competitions, to play at the Afrobasket, to play at these World Cup qualifiers. So that talent pool basically counts for nothing.
It's internal issues that I believe going by next year. The elections are bound to happen by next year, and I'm certain after these elections, probably the new board will be able to fix all of these issues. There was a time, about 3 years ago, Nigeria had the third highest number of indigenous in the NBA. After America, it was America, Canada, and then Nigeria in the NBA, and that was where we saw the likes of Gabe Vincent come back to play for Nigeria. So many NBA players that came back to play for Nigeria, and I know we can also get back there going next year. So if we can make it to the World Cup, take this from me, take my word for it. Some of these boys will be back.
Amen.
Some of the boys will definitely be back to play for the country. They are willing to play for the country, because we also need to understand that it gives them an avenue, it gives them a platform. So many of them are looking for this platform. Yes, some of them were not born in Nigeria, they have American descent, but they want to play in the World Cup, they want to play in the Olympics. They just need an enabling environment, which is what is currently lacking, and as a result of the issues we are having with the federations in Nigeria. But once the elections come next year and a new board comes on board, I'm sure all of these issues will be put to bed.
Amen to that. We've been speaking to Abayomi Ajowele, basketball enthusiast and journalist. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Game On. Hopefully, I'm hoping that, like you said, Nigeria will be able to overcome Guinea and Rwanda in order to make sure that their qualification or progress is ensured. Don't forget, Guinea defeated Rwanda 80-72 in a game that finished just earlier. Thank you so much, Abayomi, for coming through tonight.
Thank you for having me. Have a lovely night.
You too.